Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of this tutorial, video from Matchstick Mouse Springtime by Morgan O'Brien using Prismacolor pencils, and we are copying this picture. Now this is a picture that Morgan O'Brien himself did on his Instagram page, and I'm sort of copying the colours and some of the look, and it's not exact, but you know, I'm having a go and I'm just sort of showing you what sort of decisions I'm making as I'm doing it, in case you want to do a similar thing. I'm just going to fold this piece of paper a little bit so that it doesn't get in our way quite so much. There we go. I thought we would start with the sky, so I thought I'd pop that there. Now I have picked out my colours already using this swatch chart. Now this is a swatch chart that I put together. It's available on my Ko-fi. I'll pop a link to my Prismacolor Ko-fi charts and things in the description in case you want to have a look. They're all free to download. Now let's have a look at the sky. So we've got quite a bright pink here, and it fades down towards our guinea pig, and this bit is lighter as well. Now I want to use similar pinks to what I used for already, but obviously we want this ear here is darker than this, so we need to keep that in mind. I also need to go even darker for this bush here when we get around to doing that, so that's fine. I've got 3 pencils that I've picked out that I'm going to use for the sky. I'm actually going to start with my lightest. This is the Deco Pink, and I'm going to put a Deco Pink base down across all of the sky area. I think it'd be easier to do it in this order, just to help me make sure that I don't make it so dark that you can't sort of see the ear over the rest. So it's just a really gentle light layer, nice and easy. And of course, if you want to keep it simple, you can just leave it like this. It's pretty, isn't it, having a pink sky? I don't know if I have coloured a pink sky before, because there's another one in this book, but I don't think I've ever just gone off and coloured my own pink sky, not just pink. Okay, so there's this, and down here where it's a little bit dark on the outside, I'm going to put a second layer of this one and then just fade it down like that. Yeah, so I'm not going to put another colour in there. There we go. And I'm going to do the same on all of this, but we will put a second colour here where it seems significantly darker than here. But I'm going to start, hopefully my hand's in a bit of an awkward position, but I think it allows you to see what I'm doing. So I'm trying to layer up more here and just fade it down towards our animals. It's a bit paler behind them. The sun's just come out. I've got my blind shut. It's so sunny today. Been out in the sunshine actually this morning. So that's our first pink, and then I am going to actually use, I think I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use the blush pink to do a darker layer on here. Now my picture is significantly lighter than this one across, even the ear is lighter, so it's not going to look exactly the same. Now I'm going to try and fade that out too, like that. Yeah, it's sunny. It's I went out, it was chilly this morning, which was lovely. I had a cardigan on and I went out, and the sun wasn't too burning hot, so that was good. I like to go out early before it gets too warm. Oh, we weren't going to do any there, were we? I've started now. Just do a little bit. There we go. Okay, you can go even darker here, but I'm going to use my darker pink here. So we've got this bush here which is quite dark pink. So what I grabbed actually was the pink. This is it's a lot darker. But if we look, we've got a little green tip here. Can you see that? And actually the top of the bush isn't quite so dark. So actually I'm going to grab the blush pink again. Just do this top bit here, like that, with that one, and now get my pink. Now you can see there are dots. I'm going to try and do those either in pencil or pen. We'll see how it goes. That's a bit pale. I'm going to layer it up a bit. It really is quite vibrant, isn't it? It goes, actually overlaps, doesn't it, over the top of here, like that. Now we have a green dot, a green bit here and 2 green dots. I can see if I can put those in. I've got my lime peel. So I'm going to put a green bit there. I think we can get that to show up. I'm not sure if we can get, well, we can, there and there, bit here as well. Okay, I have got pens, you can use pen for that, but if you notice this line here, can you see it's not black? It's it looks slightly pinkish. So what I'm going to do, I'll do that now while I think about it, is pink Posca. And you don't have to do this bit. Pop it over the line to fade it back like it is in the picture. And this one as well. It's quite a bright pink Posca. I've got a lighter one, but I think this works better for the, it's called Pink Rose. Pink. Okay, if you don't have, you could use white if you want to fade it back a little bit and then go over it with pink. It's quite difficult, or just leave it. Okay, let's sort of come down a bit and just work our way down. I think that's easiest. So, although thinking about it, let's do that. So we can look at all the green. Here I'm thinking it's a more limey green, and then we go to more grassy greens here. So perhaps if we do this section, you can't really, there we go. If we do this section and then this section separately. So I'm going to grab my lime peel again, and I think what I'm going to do is actually do this background bit apart from that bit all in this. So I'm just going to start, my hands are going to be on top of it. Ooh, awkward. Never mind. I've just got to go for it, I think. So all around here, I'm not doing the stems, but I am overlapping this pink bit here, just sort of blending in a tad. No, I'm going to leave the stems, but we've got a little bit of pink here. Perhaps if I do the pink first, it might help me. I think I'm going to use my blush pink, and it's here, there, and then under here a bit, and there. Yeah, so now I can just put my lime all the way down to here basically. As I say, I'm not actually going to do it on any of the stems yet. I think some of them are this colour. It's easier to just fill this in without thinking. To start with, a bit mixing in with the pink there. And then we can look at those stems and work out what's going on with those after. So this, as you can see, is not just plain. We've got a few darker bits at the bottom. I'm going to do those first. This is a moss green. Just going to put a sort of few dark sort of squiggly bits down here, which is what it looks like to me, and squiggles here and here. A bit there. There we go. And most of this is yellow. Now I'm going to try and put some yellow on. I'm going to use my yellow ochre, but if it doesn't show up, we can do it in pen. But I think we might be able to get away with it with pencil. Posca's Prismas are quite forgiving when it comes to writing on top, like that. They're not so transparent as some brands, so we can sort of see. If you want it a little bit more defined, then you could use a pen, but it's going to be really bright. I think that's okay. We'll see how it sits when we do the flowers. Now I've got the 2 flowers. I thought I would start with the jasmine. It's a bit paler. Now looking at these flowers, this end there's really very little colour at all. Okay, so I'm going to start here and then just sort of really fade it here and just put the tiniest bit there. Okay, and do the same on this one. Fade and this one too, like that. Now I've left some of that has been left white, that's fine. And back to our yellow ochre. Now probably a little bit far out, it's really difficult to get close enough so you can see all of it. Now along this edge and a few dots, so I'll show you. I'm going to do a bit here and then here, just like a few dots of colour. Same here. And here, like that. Now our stems, let's have a little look. I think we could probably use our lime peel and then add a bit on top, but I need to be careful because some of these have got white edges. So let's do it one at a time. This very first one looks to have no white, so I'm just going to fill that in with lime peel, like that. The second one has white on the edge of all the leaves, so let's and here, so I'm going to leave a bit of white there. Can do the stem, but this leaf is white on that edge, as is this one, and these are too. There we go, but we need some other colour in here. I'm going to grab our moss. Now looking at this one, there's a little bit of dark here and on the stem, so I'm going to pop that in. And then this one is significantly darker there. This one hasn't got any dark, but this one's actually got some sort of dark here and then a few sort of lines. So now these actually look a bit like that apple green rather than this moss green. But I've done it this colour now. Yeah, I'm happy with that, to be honest. Now down here it gets a little bit more complicated. As you can see, we've got a mix of colours. I think we could probably, let's grab our, I think the apple green is probably the main base in here. Up here it sort of goes a bit limey appley, and then we've got this base here, this orangey colour we'll do on top after, I think. So we use our apple green as our base. We use it quite lightly like this. It doesn't have to be hard. We haven't done that stem. We'll just do it and see, and afterwards what I'm going to do here is fill in all the everything in apple green, but leave the white areas. There's no white on that. These rocks actually I'm going to colour around because that one's got a bit of green on but not much else. Like that around here. Now this plant gets a little bit complicated. I'm going to colour around the plants because there's no white areas on this. It's just greens and orangey colour sort of thing. This one I think needs a bit of white on the edge of this particular leaf, but none of the others. Okay. Right, so there's our base. Now here we've got those three have a bits of white on, but nothing else does, so I'm going to just colour that in, leave a pale area on there, and there, and there, colour that in. This one is more complicated. I know we've got a lot of pink going on. I have got a pink pen if all else fails. White there, white there. It's basically on the top edge. If you don't do it quite right, doesn't matter. As I say, you can always use a pen to go over these white bits if you miss them out like I did then, if you feel it's necessary. You might just be happy with it. Okay, that's that. Now I'm going to go in with an orangey colour and do this sort of, I've decided the mineral orange was probably a good one. So I'm starting here because this bit's quite a little bit orangey in there, and then we start to get a bit more defined down here, like that. These stones, if you look carefully, you can see they've got white. This one hasn't. And it's sort of orangey around them with a few bits of green. Now you can use your, again, don't have to follow it exactly as it's drawn. Just sort of do your best. It's not like someone's going to be holding this up to this and going, oh look, you've missed that bit. Well, you might be, but don't. No one else will. The idea is that you're using it for inspiration. A bit harder there. And I find this sort of thing helps me to have new ideas. You know, I would never think of doing sort of orangey grass, but it's sort of mud, isn't it? But it's, I think it works quite well. There we go. I think that's enough of the orange. It's a lot darker here than here, but that's fine. Now, looking at this plant, I think we need a little bit of the dark. I'm grabbing my moss green. I'm just going to put like this, I feel should be a bit darker in here. A bit here. You know, it's a bit too flat. So I'm just putting in a bit of colour. It's a bit of shadow under here. Like that. And here, this plant, if you look, it's got a lot darker green down at the bottom, so I'm going to use my moss green to darken it up. I was going to use a Kelly green, but I couldn't find it. It's there somewhere, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. There we go. Now this one is similar. We've got the sort of darker bits at the bottom. Makes sense, doesn't it? And here in this grass, we've got some bits, darker bits, blobs. It brings it to life a bit, doesn't it? It's not so flat. You add a few lines and now pink. Pink flowers, they're really they're sort of a pale bit with a bright outline. I'm going to try and draw them on, and if it doesn't show up enough, we'll use a pen. So this is the pink, okay, and we'll do something like this. I think that's probably about right. And then we'll get a slightly lighter one in the middle. I think actually the light is the deco. I'm going to try the deco pink in the middle. Oh, I can't get that to show up. No, that's no good. Okay. No. This pink. This is a light pink. Now, if you've got a you could try with the blush pink. Actually, what's that? No, yeah, no, the rose pink. Let's try pink rose. Let's try that first. No, it's not showing up. Okay. If you don't have a pen, you can. Well, if you have a white, most people have white. You can put white in there, and then go over the top of it with a pink and fade it back a bit. Doesn't really look very pink. I think it's okay. I haven't used it for a while. I think it's a bit watery. I didn't shake it enough. There we go. So we've got our sort of flowery bits as well. Now, I think I am almost done. I'm just having a little look. We've got the got a yellow blob there that I missed out. I'm going to put in. This is the it's there. I feel like I want one there as well, and here, like that. I'm just being a bit fussy now. You could be as fussy as you like. Let's have a look. Oops. There we are. Now I think the reason I find Prismas better is because you can write over the top a little bit with them, which helps, and that sort of thing. I'm feeling this is a little bit wishy-washy. I'm going to get my apple green actually and just go over some of these bits a little bit harder, just to make it a bit darker. You don't have to do all of it. If you do a few bits then it looks more like grass. Try not to smudge my pink pen. And I'm just being a bit fussy really, I think. There we go. Now, as I say, you can darken bits up if you want to, but I'm actually quite happy with that. There we go. Original picture, my version, quite different, but yeah, still liking it. So there we go. Oh, what have I missed? The inside of the mouth. It's sort of a dark pinkish colour, so I am going to use this first, the blush pink. Now the sort of this bit is white, so there we have a pink, but it gets quite almost grey in there. Yeah, I guess I'll have to use, I think I'll use this very carefully. 70% cool grey. It's quite dark here. I'm just going to gently stroke over it and darken it a little bit, particularly from that side, like that. Yeah, is that the only bit I missed? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay, so there we are. So it really is finished now. So it didn't take as long to do the background as I thought. It was quite a small amount really. But as I say, you could darken some areas if you wanted to make the guinea pig patches more orangey and things like that, but I'm quite happy with it looking a little bit paler. I think it's fine. But there we go. So thank you for watching. As I said, the swatch chart is on my Ko-fi. There's a link in the description. In the description I also list all the pens I use and links to everything, my affiliate links if you want to buy anything and whatever, it's all there. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.